I started a business as a joke, but it ended up generating $1 million in profit in just a few months. In this video, I explain how I did it, along with the steps that you can copy that will reduce the risks and help you do it too. I now have a company. It was started out as an experiment slash joke. It's in the pet space, and it is actually turned into a real business by accident. Because I'm essentially my whole thing is like this, it's scientific entrepreneurship. How do we run experiments constantly to see what works and what doesn't? And my job, and for the last multiple years I've done this, is how can I find out what doesn't work as quickly as possible? So I run tons of these cheap experiments.
Yeah. So repeat that.
Testing
again.
things.
Yeah. Say that again. So how do
I figure out what doesn't work as quickly as possible? Because the typical model, and what I did for my first business, like the law firm, et cetera, was I would say, I have an idea that this is going to work. And then you spend a year banging your head against the wall to see if that thesis is correct.
Yep.
And I've now, then you spend tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you spend months, if not years, figuring out if it works. If I can just eliminate the that probably won't work, I will be so much further ahead. So if you take that as a fundamental assumption, then my job needs to be throw a lot of spaghetti against the wall and quickly eliminate the things that don't work. So I kind of took this to the extreme.
Got it. And you can see the program. You can see the programming part of your mind operating, right? Like that is such a engineering type of mentality, which is great because I'm not wired that way at all, right? So I'm just I'm taking notes, okay, you need to what's not working as quickly as possible. I don't think I've ever actually heard that before. Okay, that's awesome. So you're doing that, right, with the business, figuring out what's not working. Obviously, you get to know what stuff is working.
Correct. So I come up with a bunch of ideas what could work.
Yeah.
I quickly eliminate the ones that don't work, and my idea is you do this iteratively, okay? Bunch of ideas, bunch of angles, bunch of markets. Throw away the stuff, spend as little as possible in terms of time and money, find out what doesn't work. Take the set of things that might work. Now, I haven't validated that they do work, but I know that they haven't been eliminated yet.
Yeah.
So there's a chance, right? I've already upped my odds from 1 in 1,000 to maybe 1 in 50 that one of these things might work.
Yeah.
So then I run, so that I call a directional test. And the next thing that I run is what I call a statistical test, which is, okay, can I get a confidence level that one of these things will work? So I'll spend a little bit more money and I'll test, does an audience like this kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then I'll whittle it down further. Okay, let's get rid of these things. Okay, well, now I've got it down to a 1 in 10 that this thing might work. And then I spend a little bit more money and I do what I call revenue testing, which is okay, how much money can I make off of this thing? And can I make that math work?
Yeah.
And if I do this successively, I have a buddy, he started an e-commerce company a couple years before I started mine. He had spent something like $90,000 in 2 years trying a product, and he'd order it from China and he'd get it shipped in, and then he'd try to sell it, and then he had a garage full of that he couldn't sell. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do it that way. I mean, that's my wife would kill me if I had just a garage full of plastic crap from China.
Yeah.
So instead, I did this rapid testing, and in a few weeks I got the directional tests, and within 4 months I had something that was making money.
Got it.
And so that has turned into kind of just a little money generating machine, which gives me runway.
Yeah, and freedom, flexibility.
Exactly.
And be able to do, and then on the creative, and then be able to work on the creative endeavors.
While this business did amazingly well, I've actually done way more revenue with my personal brand, even though it looks small compared to big influencers. This is something I think all business owners should create, a personal brand. And if you want to see exactly how I've done it, check out this video over here.